Okay, so this is from Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own. And basically, Virginia Woolf, what her point in that book is that the reason that we have never seen the female equivalent to Shakespeare or the female equivalent to Michelangelo or any of the great artists, that there are no women who have reached the heights of that kind of creativity and genius, is not because women are lesser than men. It is because um, women are not given the same space to create as men. And she means not only emotional and intellectual space, she also means actual physical space. We need rooms of our own in which to create. For women, the home is a series of rooms devoted to other people. We have kitchens where we must cook for our families. We have spaces to take care of children. We have spaces to take care of our husbands, but we do not have spaces to sit in solitude and to pursue our own individual interests. So, in order to make this point, Woolf created the fictional character of Shakespeare's sister. And because she blends fiction and nonfiction, this is her way of making the argument. Shakespeare has a twin sister in her imagination, and she is just as genius as Shakespeare. She's born with just as much genius as him. However, Shakespeare is given education, he is given opportunity, and his creativity is nurtured. He does not have to bear and care for children, and so all of the things that get in the way for Shakespeare's sister are not a problem for Shakespeare. And so, as any Shakespearean tragedy ends, Shakespeare's sister dies young. She never writes a word. She drowns herself. And it is because that creativity is stifled so completely that she dies tragically by her own hand. So, in Virginia Woolf's argument, she says for us to resurrect Shakespeare's sister. That now women are starting to have those rooms of their own, and they can now resurrect Shakespeare's sister, and she can become the genius that she was always meant to be. So this is from A Room of One's Own, her most famous work of literature. I told you in the course of this paper that Shakespeare had a sister. She died young. Alas, she never wrote a word. Now, my belief is that this poet, who never wrote a word, lives. She lives in you and in me and in many other women who are not here tonight, for they are washing up the dishes and pulling the children to bed. But she lives, for the great poets do not die. They are continuing presences. They need only the opportunity to walk among us in the flesh. This opportunity, as I think, is now coming within your power to give her. For my belief is that if we live another century or so, I am talking of the common life, which is the real life, and not the little separate lives which we live as individuals, and have lived 100 years, each of us, and rooms of our own, if we have the habit of freedom and the courage to write exactly what we think, if we escape a little from that common sitting room and see human beings not always in their relation to each other, but in relation to reality and the sky too, and the trees, or whatever it may be in themselves, if we face the fact that there is no arm to cling to, but that we go alone, and that our relation is to the world of reality and not only to the world of men and women, then the opportunity will come, and the dead poet who is Shakespeare's sister will put on the body which she has so often laid down. So, for discussion, we have lived another century or so, as Woolf puts it. Have we revived Shakespeare's sister? Do women have the rooms of their own to become the geniuses that they are meant to be?